Hello everyone, my name is Harsh Singhal and I am your mathematics trainer. Today we are going to solve the past year questions of NSTSE examination paper. Here is the first question that says, what is the product of two whole numbers whose difference is 1? So see, in this case 63 something that can be written down as 7 multiplied by 9. B option, 80 can be written down as 8 multiplied by 10. C option, 90 can be written down as 9 multiplied by 10. And D option is 99 can be written down as 9 multiplied by 11. Over here the difference is 2, 9 minus 7 is 2, 10 minus 8 is 2, 10 minus 9 is 1 and 11 minus 9 is 2. So in only C option the difference is of 2. So that is how we can find out the answer. Next one. If the numbers a minus b and a plus b are twin primes, then a and b are necessarily what numbers? So we know that the difference between the twin primes is, if we find out the difference, a plus b minus a minus b, that will be equal to 2. So this is a plus b minus a plus b equal to 2. This implies 2b is equal to 2 or b is equal to 1. As this value is equal to 1, so that means both of these numbers will going to be co-prime numbers. Next one, how many lines of symmetry does a regular pentagon have? So for regular pentagon, this is the sort of figure we are having. For this, the line of symmetry are all the lines which are passing through the vertices and the opposite sides. So these are the 5 line of symmetry that we are having. Next one, choose the result of this value. This is 2023 square minus 2024 square divided by 4047. Now we know that a square minus b square is equal to a plus b, a minus b. So 2023 minus 2024 multiplied by 2023 plus 2024 divided by 4047. This value will be equal to minus 1 and this is equal to 4047 divided by 4047. This will get cancelled out, hence this is equal to minus 1. So A option is the correct answer. Next one, choose the correct option. We know that 1 million is equal to 10 lakhs. So according to A option, 10 millions means 100 lakh is equal to 10 lakh. False. Not the correct one. B option, 10 millions means 100 lakh, which is equal to 1 crore. So this is the true statement, B option. Similarly, this is 10 lakhs and this is also 10 lakhs. So these are not the correct answers. Next one, choose the line which is parallel to PQ. So here is this line PQ. If we try to find out the line which is parallel to it, so that is only RS. Rest all the lines are perpendicular to it. So D option is the correct answer. Which line is perpendicular to AB? So here is this line AB and the line which is perpendicular to it is third line. The angle which is forming is 90 degrees. So option B is the correct answer. The given figure shows a number line. What is the value of x minus 5? See, this is 0, this is 10. So this is equal to 5, this is 10, this is minus 5, minus 10, minus 15 and this is minus 20. So x minus y is equal to 5 minus 20, that is equal to 5 plus 20, which is equal to 25. The option is the correct answer. So here is the next question that says the pictograph shows the number of people from 4 classes in a school who got gold medal in a competitive exam. Number of people who got the gold medal on this axis, and over here 6 rose, 6 lily, 6 orchid, 6 lotus. Each one image of this represents 2 people. So this is equivalent to 2. This is equivalent to 2 multiplied by 2, that is 4. This is equivalent to 2 multiplied by 4, that is 8. And this is equivalent to 2 multiplied by 5, that is 10 people. In which class did only two people got the gold medal? So that is 6 lotus. So A option is the correct answer. The product of the place values of 2 3s in, this is 5 3 4 3 2, ones, tens, hundreds, thousand, 10,000. So this is 3,000. This is 30. When we multiply them, 3 multiplied by 3 is 9 and then followed by 4 zeros. So 90,000, that means B option is the correct answer. Diameter of a circle is 8.2. We know that diameter is equal to twice of radius. 8.12 is equal to twice of radius. So radius is equal to 8.12 divided by 2. 8.12 divided by 2, 4 times, then 1. So it is not possible, and dot 0, then 2, 6 times. So this is 4.06 centimeter. B option is the correct answer. The bar chart shows the number of waiters and waitresses employed in 4 restaurants at a shopping center. Over here, the light one, the left one is for waiter. This one is for waiter. And then on the right hand side, we are having the waitresses. What was the total number of waiters employed in 4 restaurants? So this is equal to 25. This is 10, 25, and this is also 10. So total waiters is equal to 25 plus 10, 25 plus 10, 35, 60, then this is 70. So C option is the correct answer. What is the result of this? See, in the numerator, if you take 6 common, it will become 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus till 10. And in the denominator, if you take 12 common, it will become 10 plus 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus till 1. Eventually, this number that is in the numerator in the bracket and the number in the numerator denominator inside the bracket are equal. So this is 6 upon 12, which is equal to 1 upon 2. D option. See, this is 12 multiplied by 10. This is 12 multiplied by 9. This is 12 multiplied by 8. So every time we can take 12 common, so it will rest left with 10 plus 9 plus 8 plus till 1. And similarly, this is 6 multiplied by 1, 6 multiplied by 2, 6 multiplied by 3, and so on. So the option is the correct answer. In the given figure, rectangles A and B are of the same size. Each rectangle can fit 2 squares of C exactly. So this square, there can be 2 exactly squares of C, and like this. There will be total 5 squares of C in this whole picture if we look at the arrangement, because we can place one over here, one over here. So basically, let's assume that this is A. So this length is equal to A. This length is equal to A, and this length is also equal to A. 3A is equal to 42, or A is equal to 42 upon 3, which is equal to 14 centimeters. Now we need to find out the area of this figure. Area of the figure is equal to 5 multiplied by the area of this small square, that is 14 multiplied by 14. So this is 5 multiplied by 196, that is equal to 980 centimeter square. B option is the correct answer. A fraction is equivalent to 5 upon 8. There is a fraction which is equivalent to 5 upon 8. Its denominator and numerator add up to. So let us assume that the fraction is there is a fraction x upon y, and it is given that x plus y is equal to 91, which implies x is equal to 91 minus 5. So this value is equal to 91 minus y upon y. What is the difference between the denominator and the numerator of this fraction? First of all, let's find out the value of y. When you cross multiply it, 5y is equal to 8 multiplied by 91 minus 8y. So this is 8 plus 5, 13. Y is equal to 8 multiplied by 91, or y is equal to 8 multiplied by 91 upon 13, 7 times. So this is equal to 56. If this is equal to 56, so x is equal to this is 56. 91 minus 56, that is equal to 11 minus 6 is 5, then 8 minus 5 is 3. So the fraction will be equal to 35 upon 56. Now the difference between the numerator and denominator is 56 minus 35, that is equal to 21. So A option is the correct answer. What is the product of the greatest prime number that is less than 50? So we know that the prime number that is less than 50 is 47, then before that we have 41, 43, 41, and after this we are having 53, then we have 59. So what is the product of the greatest prime number less than 50, that is 47, and the smallest prime number that is greater than 50, that is 53. So we need to find out the product of 53 and 47. Now you can do the simple multiplication, but this can be written down as 50 plus 3, 50 minus 3. So this part will be equal to 2500 minus 9, that is equal to 2491. The option is the correct answer.
look at the figure. So this question is basically that we need to look at the figure of an electric circuit. Just a moment, let me select pen. Okay, it's done. So look at the figure. Okay, look at the figure of an electric circuit shown here. Which graph given below correctly shows the change in the brightness of the bulbs in the circuit if the number of bulbs are increased but the number of batteries remain the same? Now the question says that we have few electric circuit figures, like this electric circuit figure is given here. You can see that this is battery, okay, we have connecting wires, and then what do you have? You have bulbs. These are the bulbs. Now we have few graphs. See, we have these graphs as A, B, C, D, and we need to tell that like these graphs shows the change in the brightness of the bulbs in the given circuit. So what do you think? Like if number of bulbs are increased but the number of batteries remain the same, then what kind of graph will be obtained? Now here in this question you can see the graph which is drawn like brightness of bulbs versus number of bulbs. Now in figure A, here it is given that as the number of bulbs increases, the brightness of bulbs increases. In second figure B, it is shown that it remains constant for some time if you increase number of bulbs, and then the brightness of bulbs get increased. In C, it is shown that the brightness remains constant, and in D, it is that the brightness decreases as you increase the number of bulbs. Now we all know, like if you will increase the number of bulbs here, okay, if you increase the number of bulbs, now here you can see that if the current is entering from one of the sides, so same current is entering into the different bulbs, okay, but the battery voltage remains same. So when same current enters into the bulbs, we say that these bulbs are in series arrangement. So whenever any electrical appliance is placed in such a way that current enters same in them, then that arrangement is in series. Now in series the voltage differs. In series the voltage differs. Now the battery of same volt is being used for more number of bulbs. So when same battery is used for more number of bulbs, obviously the brightness of the bulbs will not increase, rather it will decrease. So here out of A, B, C, D, D is the right answer. Okay. So whenever same voltage battery is supplying current to all the bulbs which are connected in series, the voltage will differ. Therefore the brightness of bulb will be low, because same current on the same voltage, now number of electrical appliances like here bulbs are more number of bulbs are adjoined. Therefore which option is correct, students? I think you know the answer now. It is option D. Next question. 4 students M, N, O and P measured the length of a table which was about 2 meters. So there are 4 students M, N, O and P, and they measured the length of the table and it was found to be 2 meters. Okay, let's say it is a table of 2 meters. Okay. Each of them used different ways to measure it. So M and OP, they measured using different ways. Which student measured the most accurate length? So we need to pick which student out of M and OP measured the accurate length. Now let's see how they found. Option A states student M measured it with a ½ meter long thread. Do you think measuring something with ½ meter long thread would be useful? Because it is 2 meter long. So obviously if you'll measure ½ meter, then he has to pick it up, then measure again half, then half, then half. Do you think it is going to give you the accurate result? No. It is not an accurate method to find, because every time you have to change its place. Okay. Student N with a 15 centimeter scale from a geometry box. So he used a scale which was 15 centimeter. Here the table length is 2 meter. So obviously again he has to pick it up again and then measure again. Different small distances he will be measuring and then he will be adding it. So obviously the result won't be accurate in this case also. Student O measured it using her hand span, like this, like 1, 2, using the hand span. So again he has to pick it up, and also the result will vary from person to person. because we know that each one of us have different width of the hand. So obviously the result won't be accurate, will not be constant in each case. Student P measured it using a 5-meter long measuring tape. Yes, like student P will be able to measure accurate result because that measuring tape is quite long in the table, so he can easily put it up and he can measure that yes, the length is 2 meters. So option D is the correct method which student P opted to measure. So option D is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following setups shown below enables a pupil to see a candle flame through the tiny holes of 3 cardboards? So here option A, B, C, D is given. We need to find that when you can see the candle from the tiny holes of 3 cardboards clearly. Now we know, like here it is said pupil. I hope you all know what is pupil. Pupil is actually a dark color black body which is present in your colored area. Like you have a colored area, that is your iris, and inside it there is a black body around. That is pupil. So here we need to tell that which setups enables a pupil to see a candle flame through tiny holes. So obviously first thing is that in order to see anything, what we need light. And light is provided by a luminous source. Light is provided by a luminous object. That means an object which emits light on its own, or otherwise non-luminous object should be surrounded by some luminous object. Then only you can see it. In dark we cannot see anything. Okay. So now candle is a luminous object because when you burn it, then a flame comes out which enables you to see light. Now here we have 3 cardboards. Now talking about light, we know that light is a form of energy and it can travel through medium also, and also it can travel through vacuum. Like if there is something, then also it can travel. If there is nothing, that is vacuum, then also it can travel. But we need to remember that light always travels in a straight line path. Light always travels in a straight line path. Now here 3 cardboards are present. So in order to see the candle, we need to have 3 holes placed in line. Now here in option A you can see that it is here, but in option 2 it is here, option C it is here. So do you think the light will able to reach pupil? No, in this case, because all the holes are not lying in a same straight line, and light needs a straight line path to travel. In option B again it's not a straight line path. Look here. So therefore no. Option C again you have this thing. So again not straight line path. But option D you can see that all the holes are aligned in a straight line path, and light always travel in a straight line path. So therefore which option is correct, students? Option D. So you need to remember that light always travels in a straight line path. Next question. Which one of the following is the correct grouping of different materials according to their electrical conductivity? So before going ahead with the options, I would really like to tell you about electrical conductivity. Electrical conductivity means an appellance which enables current to pass through it. Which enables current to pass through it. That we mean by electrical conductivity. So in order to be electrically good conductor, a substance need to possess free mobile electrons in it. Then only it will be having carrier of electric current, that is the mobile electrons. Or if we talk about solution, there has to be presence of ions, then only they will be a good conductor. Now accordingly we divide the substances according to their conductivity obviously, and according to their resistance, as conductors, semiconductors and insulators. So conductors are those which allow current to pass through them very easily, because they have got very low resistance, low obstruction to the flow of charge. Semiconductors which are moderately conducting, and insulators which are poor conductor of electricity, because they don't have ions or they don't have free mobile electrons in them. Now here option A says insulators, copper and gold. Now let me tell you, all metals are good conductors. So copper and gold written as insulator, so it is incorrect. So you don't have to look for the conductors, because one of the the substances given as insulators is completely wrong. Option B, electrical insulators, carbon, steel, conductors, iron and paper. Do you think paper is a good conductor? No. So again wrong. Electrical insulators, plastic and wood. Yes, plastic and wood do not conduct electricity. Even stones they do not conduct. Even glass do not conduct. Conductors, graphite and tungsten. Yes, good conductor. Electrical insulators, iron. Do you think iron is an insulator? No. So that is the reason here the substances given in option C gives you the correct combination. Insulators as plastic and wood and conductors as graphite and tungsten. So the correct answer, option C. Next question. A student wants to measure the length and breadth of her classroom using her foot as a unit of length. A student wants to measure the length and breadth of her classroom. So a student has, like you people have your classrooms, a student here the given student also has a classroom. So he need to measure the length and breadth of her classroom using her foot as a unit of length. If the length of her foot is 30 centimeter, let's say this is his foot length, that is 30 centimeter, and she covers 40 footsteps while covering the length. Let's say that she covers the length using how many footsteps? 20 footsteps for covering length. So 20 footsteps, and one footstep is 30 centimeter, so that means it will come out to be 600 centimeter. Okay. 15 footsteps while covering the breadth. So while covering the breadth, how many footsteps? 15. 15 footsteps, and each footstep is 30 centimeter long. So that means come out to be 450. So that means breadth will be 450. So what will be the length and the breadth? So simple to found, and we have already found the answer. So which one is correct? So do we have length as 450? No. Do we have length as 600 and breadth 450? True. Do we have length 500? No. No. So which option is correct? Option B. So this way you have to be smart enough to finish your question in a short span. Okay, next question. A girl observed the shadow of a tree at 8 a.m. Okay. 12 noon also and 3 p.m. also. Which of the following statements is closest to her observation about the shape and size of the shadow? So a girl is observing the shadow of a tree at 8 a.m., then at 12 noon and 3 p.m. So which of the following statement is closest to her observation about shape and size? Now we know that shadow is shadow is cast. Suppose if you have a luminous object, any luminous object, okay, and if something is obstructing the path of the light, then what do you get? You get the shadow. You get its shadow. So basically, when a girl is observing the shadow of the tree, so that means something is blocking the path of the light. That is the reason the shadow is being cast. So shadow of a tree at 8 a.m. is different, 12 is different, 3 is different. So what do you think is closest to her observation about shape and size? Does the shadow shape changes, size changes, or both the things changes, or both of them remain same? So option A says the shape of the shadow of the tree changes, but the size remains the same. So this is not correct. Option B says that the size of the shadow of the tree changes, but the shape remains the same. No, again incorrect. Both the size and the shape of the shadow of the tree changes. This is true. And neither the shape or the size changes. It is false. See, it matters that what is the distance between the source of the light and the object which is obstructing. So that distance varies. That is the reason the shape and the size of the shadow of the tree or any substance keep on changing. And also we know that the sun is moving. So when the sun is moving, in afternoon, it is just top of our head. So size of the shadow will be different. So shape also and size of the shadow also of any object changes as the position of the sun changes. So which option is correct here? Option C is correct. Next question. Most of the electricity carrying wires along the roads do not have plastic covering like the wires used at home. But why is there no substantial loss of energy? Now we know that to transfer electricity or to pass electricity, we make use of conductors. We all know. Conductors are those which allow current to pass through them very, very easily. Okay. So, like at home, we usually see that the wires which are used for electrical transmission, they are made up of copper. So, at home for electrical transmission, we make use of copper wires. And copper wires are well insulated with plastic coating. And why it is well insulated? Because plastic is an insulator and we are covering it with plastic coating. So the reason being that it prevent us from electric shock. Like if you are touching the wires and they are naked, then you may get a shock. So obviously we need to cover them with plastic coating. But if you see the wires, along the roadsides, we see that they are not covered, but still there is no loss of energy. The reason being, like around when you see them on road, you see around them is air present, and air actually is a bad conductor of electricity. So that is the reason option A says air is not affected by gravity. It is wrong. Air is a bad conductor, true. And electricity flows very fast near highways, again false. Current rating is high near highways, again wrong. So which option is correct here? Option B is correct. So there is no substantial loss of energy. The reason being air is a bad conductor of electricity. Next question. Which of the following statements is true about the importance of standard units in our daily life? Now the question says, why do we need it? So basically units, they play very important role in our life. The reason being, like if you go to market and ask for potatoes, how will you ask a greengrocer to give you potatoes? Obviously you will say that give me 2 kgs, give me 1 kgs. You can't say give me 10 potatoes, give me 20 potatoes. You cannot say that. Or if you want to say that this, if I want to say this pen is this much long, I cannot say it is 1 finger long, or it is like its size is just same as another pen. We can't say that. So we need units to describe anything in a proper and accurate way. So units play very important role. Like you go to market, you ask a grocer to give you a dozen banana. So he knows that he will be giving you 12 bananas if you're asking for 1 dozen. Because dozen is a unit and it specifies 12 pieces. Okay. So same way the units are very important, and also we need standard units. Standard units means the same units should be used in each and every part of the country. Each and every part of the country, or you can say each and every part of the world. Like if I'm saying somebody sitting in America that I have got 1 dozen banana, so that should be 1 dozen for him also, that should be 1 dozen for me also. It means 12 for me, it means 12 for him. So obviously we are in need of standard units to have worldwide acceptance. So A option says the same set of units can be used throughout the world. Yes, it can be. The buying and selling of goods can be carried out more easily. Yes, because if you ask give me 10 potatoes or give me 20, so obviously then you will say grocer like we need a big size potatoes, or you are giving a small size potato. So obviously if you say we need 1 kg, so it will be 1 kg irrespective of their shape or sizes. Standard units are basic needs of life. Yes, it is. So which of out of them is correct? Both A and B are correct. So which option we'll go with? Option D. We need standard units. That like true about their importance is that the same units can be used everywhere in the world, and also buying and selling of things will be more easily done. Next question. Observe the graph shown below. Which graph correctly shows the size of the shadow when the light source is moved away from the object? So now here in this case, I told you that shadow is cast whenever a source of light is light is coming from some source and something is blocking that light. So obviously then a shadow is cast. That is a dark area is cast basically. So basically when the light source is close to the object, like if the distance between the source of the light and the object is very close, the shadow cast will be bigger in size. And if the distance between the source and the object is more, the shadow cast will be smaller in size. So therefore out of this the graph would be like if the distance it is moved away, that means we are talking that the distance increases. So if the distance is increasing, the size of the shadow obviously decreases. So option A says that the size of the shadow increases if you increase the distance. It is false. It shows it decreases. Yes, it's true. It shows that it decreases and then increases. No. Again, it shows it increases and decreases. Again, no. So you need to remember, if the source of the light and the object, they are close to each other, then the shadow form will be bigger in size. And if you increase that distance, then the shadow cast will be smaller in size. Next question. 5 lamps L1, L2, L3, L4 and L5 and 3 different types of materials M1, M2 and M3. They are arranged as you can see in the circuit. So if L2 and L3 and L4, okay, they are the only lamps that light up, then which one of the following conclusions can be made? Now let me tell you, like if you have arranged something in a circuit and a bulb is glowing, always remember that means what all you have attached is proper, like the connections are proper. If you have attached some material, then that material is a good conductor. It allows current to pass through. That is the reason bulb glows. But if you are attaching some material and you have the connections but the switch is off, or the wire is broken, or if some connection is loose, then there is a chance, there is a probability that the bulb will not glow, because any electrical appliance to work need proper connections, and also include like whatever is used in the circuit, that should be a good conductor. Now here it is said that L2, L3, L4 bulb they glow, okay, but L1 and L5 they don't glow. Now if you look at L3 and L4, if they are glowing, so obviously this will be a good conductor, this will be a good conductor, because it is completing the circuit and the current is flowing properly. But here in this case, L1 and L5 they are not glowing. Obviously that means M2 is obstructing that flow of current. So basically it means here that what do we say, like which out of them would be so option A states that M2 and M3 are insulators of electricity. M2 and M3 are insulators. No, M3 is not an insulator, because if M3 would have been, then the L2 and L3 and L4 will not glow. So wrong. M1 and M3 are insulators. No, they will not be an insulator, rather they are good conductors because they are completing the circuit. M1 and M2 are conductors. No. If M2 would have been a conductor, then these bulbs would have also been lightened up. M1 and M3 are conductors, true, because only the bulbs which are placed below in this, arranged in this circuit, L3 and L4, they glow. So that means they are completing the circuit, they are allowing the current to pass. So therefore option D is undoubtedly correct. Next question says, read the flowchart given below. What are the materials P, Q, R, S? So here we have a flowchart. So let's get started. Does it break into pieces when dropped? So we have one clue, that does it break into pieces when it is dropped? So if we say yes, okay, there is some substance which breaks up into pieces when dropped, and there is a substance which doesn't break. So let's go with this first. Doesn't break, but it can be stretched also. Can it be stretched? So it is said that it cannot be stretched. So that is P. And the substance which doesn't break but it can be stretched is Q. Now here it says that it breaks into pieces and it is made up of clay. And which is made up of clay is yes, and which is no is R. So here we have, let's go with option A first. Do you think this P can be iron? So does it break into pieces? No. Yes, it can be, can it be stretched? No. So basically here in this case, it can't be iron. And Q, do you think it can be Q? Can be stretched? No, paper cannot be stretched. So you can leave it here. Option B says that P, paper, that is, does it break into pieces when dropped? Okay, perfect. Can be stretched? No. Okay, let's move on to Q, rubber. Q is, does it break into pieces? No. Okay, can it be stretched? Yes, it can be stretched. So Q can be rubber. Yes. Okay, moving into R. R is Ceramic. Does it break into pieces? Okay, yes. Is it made up of, it is not made up of clay. Again, wrong. So that means B is incorrect. C says P as paper. That is, does it break into pieces? No. Okay, fine. Can it be stretched? Again, no. Yes, it can be paper. It can be paper. Rubber as Q doesn't break into pieces. Correct. Can be stretched. Yes, yes, it can be rubber, because rubber we can stretch and it doesn't break also. Then we have R as glass. That is, doesn't break into pieces. Okay. Yes, it breaks into pieces. Correct. Glass breaks. And is it made up of clay? Okay. So that is said to be a ceramic, and this is said to be glass. Yes, glass is not made up of clay. Rather, it is made up of sodium carbonate. It has silicon dioxide in it. Yes, it is correct. So the option C seems correct. Let's move on to D. P, rubber. That is, doesn't break. Can it be stretched? No. Again, false. So which option is here correct? Option C is correct. Because paper is the one which doesn't break into pieces when dropped, and it cannot be stretched also. Rubber is the one which, what do you say, can be doesn't break, and can it be stretched, and then this is rubber. So which option is correct? Option C. Next question. Read the statements given below about natural changes. So here we have a statement, and it states that they take place on their own. Changes that occur without the help of humans. Man has no control over them. Ripening of fruits on plants, trees is not a natural change. Now we need to select those changes, like these points which are directly or indirectly linked with natural changes. So we all see changes around us. So changes can be classified as natural changes and also as artificial changes. That is, or you can say changes that are made by man. So we have seen that natural changes means anything which occurs naturally. That means you are not putting any kind of effort, but whatever is happening, it is happening naturally. Okay. So here it is said that they take place on their own. So these changes take place on their own. Yes, natural changes, correct, they take place on their own. And then it is said that changes that occur without the help of humans. Again, it is correct. Man has no control over it. Yes, correct. Ripening of fruits and trees is not a natural change. It is incorrect, because that's a natural change. So in this out of 4, which is correct for natural changes is obviously 1, 2, 3. So option C is correct. So which option is correct, students? Option C is correct. Next, a student poured some seawater in a dish and heated it as shown below. So a student poured water into a dish. This is dish, and student has poured water and heated it. In the above experiment, water, we need to tell what happened here. So obviously when you take seawater, we know that seawater has obviously water and lot of salts dissolved in it. So when you are heating it, we know that water is volatile. Volatile means when you heat it, it gets evaporated. It forms vapor and it rises up in the sky. Obviously what will be left behind? Salts, because salts are non-volatile. They don't evaporate on being heated. Now let's see that options that are given in this case. A says water evaporated, but salt crystals condensed in the dish. Yes, it gets evaporated true, but the salt crystals doesn't condense. It is false. Evaporated, leaving behind the salt crystals in the dish. Yes, true. C, evaporated and then condensed to form salt. No, water doesn't condense to form salt. Gained heat and evaporated, but salt lost heat and frozen. No. So which option is correct here? Option B is correct. Option B is correct. Because water is volatile, it will get evaporated, leaving behind the salts. Next question. 4 pieces of different materials, cardboard, plastic, glass and metal, were given to a student. They were of same size and thickness. So 4 pieces of different materials including cardboard, plastic, glass and metal. They were given to a student and they were of same size and thickness. Okay. So he took a pen knife and scratched the materials 10 times. So he started scratching cardboard, plastic, glass and also metal. And he did it 10 times each. So which material will have least scratches? Now let me tell you, it is easier to scratch, a substance which is soft, but it is difficult to scratch a substance which is hard. So out of cardboard, plastic, glass and metal, which one is hard? Obviously metal is hard. So obviously the number of scratches would be less on metal. Okay, so which would have least scratches? Obviously metal will have least scratches. So option A is the correct answer. Next question. Which statement describes the filtration of muddy water? Like muddy water means water which has mud in it. Which has mud in it. So filtration, we are filtrating it. Filtration means like you have a muddy water mixture. You are using a filter paper. I hope you all know. Filter paper is the one which has got very minute pores in it. So when you use it, you make it a cone shaped. You fix it in a funnel like this, and we can also place beaker over it. So if you pour this mixture, through the filter paper, you will see that mud particles are bigger in size. They won't be able to pass through filter paper. Therefore, they will stick to filter paper. They will stick to filter paper, but water will pass into, the beaker kept below this funnel. So option A says that mud is retained on filter paper. Yes, it will be retained, correct, and is called filtrate. No, we don't call it as filtrate, because filtrate is something that we are getting, into a beaker which pass through filter paper. Water is retained on the filter paper. No, water cannot be retained. It passes through filter paper. Water passes while mud is retained on the filter paper. Correct. Water passes through filter paper and it's called residue. No. Residue is something which sticks to the filter paper. So that sticks to the filter paper is residue, and the substance which pass through it is called as filtrate. Okay. So which option is correct? Undoubtedly it is option C. Next question. Read the following phenomena that occur naturally, which may be desirable or undesirable. Out of the above, which of them represent an undesirable change? Now, as we all know that changes are the part of the life. Whatever you see around you, many changes are occurring. Few changes are taking place naturally, that is on their own, and few changes occur, due to man activity. So few changes are desirable for us. Desirable means that they are beneficial for us. We need that kind of change. And few changes are undesirable, that is not not good for us. So out of the above, which of them represent an undesirable change? That those changes which are not good for us. So here we have few changes. Souring of milk, that is milk getting soured. So if milk gets soured, so it is unfit for drinking. So do you think that's a desirable change? No, it is undesirable. Growth of plant obviously is a desirable change, because if the plant will grow, then only it will have fruits, flowers, and it will be helpful for us. So it is desirable. Low and high tides, again do you think it's a desirable change? Yes, low and high tides basically means that increase or decrease in the level of water, and it is again good because it helps in generating the tidal energy. Occurrence of rainbow again is a desirable change. Heavy rain causing floods, obviously it is an undesirable, because floods can actually cause soil erosion. It can cause loss to the habitat. It can cause destruction everywhere. So it is an undesirable change. Opening of sunflower obviously is a desirable change. So which one out of them is undesirable? Obviously 1 and 5. So option A is incorrect, B is incorrect, C is incorrect, but D is correct. So undesirable changes which are not good for us, that out of them is souring of milk and heavy rain causing floods. Next question. Which of the following group of objects are opaque? See, opaque is something, let me tell you, we know that light is a form of energy which enable us to see around us. Okay. And we also know that all those substances which emit their light, which have their own light, they are called as luminous, and those which do not have their own light, they are called as non-luminous. Now, Each and every substance doesn't allow light to pass through it. Like though the light can pass through medium also, like through any substance also, and light can pass through vacuum also. It can pass through anything. But there are few substances which restrict the entry or the passage of light. So all those substances which allow light to pass through them, they are transparent. Substances which allow little amount of light to pass through are translucent, and the substance which doesn't allow light to pass through them at all, they are opaque. So we need to pick the group which indicates opaque substances. A states stick, ice, mineral water. No. Stone, hard cardboard, wooden ruler. Obviously they won't allow. Ice, stone and mineral water. Obviously no. Air, plastic and clear glass, again no. So which option is correct here? Yes, option B is correct. The option B has group of substances which are opaque. They will not allow light to pass through them. Next question. Read the statements given below. Water droplets move to form bigger clouds. Water evaporates from water bodies and the ground. Rain falls on the land and in water bodies. Water vapor rises into the sky and cools, and then condenses to form clouds. So what we need to do, here you can see that it represents water cycle. It is basically the points which are given in accordance with water cycle. We need to find the correct sequence that take place in water cycle. Now what is basically water cycle? Like if you talk about water cycle, carbon cycle, these are all biogeochemical cycles. That means the flow of something, the flow of you can say nutrients or a substance, and this exchange is taking place between abiotic and biotic cycle. Like if you talk about nitrogen cycle, that is an exchange of nutrients between the biotic and the abiotic factors. Now water cycle means how you are how the form of water is getting converted, and how again you are getting different forms of water and how they are interconverting. So we know that like when we talk about water cycle, then water evaporates. Like when the sun rays falls, water evaporates from water bodies and the ground. Like if you have water bodies, water gets evaporated. So this happens first, and then what happens? Water vapor rises up in the sky, cools down and condenses to form clouds. They form clouds. So this falls next to it. I'll write 1 and 2. And then what happens? When water droplets move to form bigger clouds, these clouds grow, keep on increasing their size. And then a stage comes when the rain falls on the land and in the water bodies. Then come R. So basically it will be QS PR. So which option would be right? Option C will be right, because when these clouds will be flooded, then water will come in the form of rain on the earth surface. This is how water is circulated. Next question. A student took a mixture in a china dish that has two substances X and Y. X and Y in a china dish. Okay. She heated it for some time. So here we have a china dish and he took X and Y mixture in it. He kept on heating it for some time. After that she observed that only X remained in the china dish. This stays behind in the china dish, but no traces of Y was found. So identify the substance X, Y and the process Z. Now when we are heating something, you can see that we have kept china dish in a sand bath. So whenever you are keeping something in a sand bath or in a water bath, that means you're not directly heating it. You are heating it indirectly. Like the burner is heating sand bath first, sand gets heated and then sand bath transfers the heat to the china dish, and then the substance which is present in china dish gets heated up. So this is basically indirect heating. Okay. So here what you're doing is, when we are heating it, we see that the Y is no more left in the china dish after some time, but X remains there. So we need to tell about the process name. Obviously the process is evaporation, because obviously one of the component is forming vapors and going into the sky. So basically here the process would be evaporation. So obviously the out of option C and D would be right, because it is not precipitation, it is not condensation. So condensation basically means then water vapor is again forming water. So it is not happening here. So out of C and D, now let's see that which out of them gets evaporated. Here it says that Y is no longer left. So we know that salt doesn't evaporate, but water does. So which option would be right? Option D. So that means X and Y would have been salt and water, and when you heated it, water formed vapors and escaped into the atmosphere, leaving behind the salt, because salt is a non-volatile substance. Next question. Read the materials given below in the box. Magnifying glass, mirror, stainless steel plate and glass tumbler. Which of them are transparent? See, we have already done that. All those substances are said to be transparent, which allows light to pass through them completely. Which allow light to pass through them completely. And out of this, magnifying glass, I hope you all know, that is the glass that you use to see smaller objects, so that it becomes enlarged and you can see it comfortably. Mirror, you all know, the plain mirror that you use to look yourself. And stainless steel plate is a plate we all use as a utensil at home, that it doesn't allow light to pass through. So it is basically an opaque substance. And glass tumbler is also like it allows the light to pass through it. So out of it, the transparent substances would be 1 and 4. So option C is correct. Which option is correct, students? Option C. Okay, next question. Which of the following are true about breathing roots? They bear minute pores called pneumatophores. These roots absorb atmospheric air for respiration. These roots cling to the plant for support. So we need to tell that which out of them is correct for this. Now let me tell you, when we are talking about it, like when we are talking about breathing roots, so as the name suggests, they will be obviously helping roots to, like, they would have been absorbing air, and it is helping the plant to respire. It is helping the plant to respire. So obviously, and they will bear minute pores also. So out of this, 1 and 2 would be correct. So option A is correct. But these roots doesn't cling to the plant for support, because these roots that cling to the plant for support, they are epiphytes. They are epiphytes. So 3 will not go along with the breathing roots, but 1 and 2 are correct. Therefore option B, D and C are incorrect. And option A is correct. Next question. The given images are of food sources of certain vitamins. Choose the correct option for the importance of it in a diet. So we have carrot, kale, spinach, capsicum, papaya, tomato. Now we know that we all need food, because food gives you energy. So basically food has nutrients in it. Food has energy giving substances, that is nutrients in it, and these nutrients provide us with energy, and we use the energy to carry out our all activities, or you can say metabolic activities of the body. Whatever you are doing, whatever is happening inside your body, whether you are like your body is making something or breaking something, we all need energy. So nutrients basically include carbohydrates, fats, proteins, minerals, vitamins, and apart from this, roughage and water also plays important role, though it doesn't give us energy, but still it is important, for cleaning our digestive tract, or for propelling the food, or helping in proper digestion. So here in this, if I talk about the the fruits and the vegetables given here, they are the source of vitamins. They are the source of vitamins, and all of them are the source of vitamin A. Though we have vitamin A also, B also, C also, you have D also, you have E also, but this, like all vegetable and fruits shown here, they are the source of vitamin A, and we know that vitamin A is necessary to keep our skin and eyes healthy. So option A keeps our eyes and skin healthy. It's true. Fighting against disease, or using calcium for bones and teeth needed for growth and repair is incorrect. So which option is correct here? Option A is correct answer. Next question. Malaria can be prevented by, how can we prevent it? Spraying oil on the surface of water, throwing food residue into rubbish bin, or rearing fish in ponds. Now we all know that malaria is basically caused by a plasmodium, a protozoan which is called as plasmodium, and it is transferred to us by Anopheles mosquito. Right? It is present in the saliva of Anopheles mosquito. So when mosquito bites you, then saliva come in contact with the blood and it transfers the plasmodium into your body. And wherever the mosquitoes would be more, they can be the source of spreading the disease. So that particular place would be more prone to mosquito borne diseases. Now we can prevent malaria how? By spraying oil on the surface of water. Yes, we can do it, because if you spray oil on the surface of water, it will obstruct the entry of air, and all those larvae, like we know that mosquitoes, they breed wherever there is standing water. So if you spray oil on the water, the larvae or whatever the stages which are the mosquitoes which are in developing stage, they will not get air and they will feel suffocated and they will die. So obviously by doing so, you can get rid of getting more mosquitoes. Throwing food residue into rubbish bin. So if you throw food residue into rubbish bin, so obviously here it is not affecting the mosquito breeding here. So no to this. Rearing fish in ponds, yes, because fishes, they eat up the larvae. So here the option which states 1 and 3 can be a prevention for malaria, that is option C. Which option is correct? Option C is correct. Next question. Select the option which correctly identifies X in the given relationship. Hinge joint, knee joint, pivot joint, X. We need to find X. So X, A option says elbow joint, shoulder joint, neck joint or ankle joint. Now we know a point where bone attaches with bone is called as a joint. It's called as a joint, where bone attaches with a bone. And there are different types of joints which are found in the body. Like if you talk about hinge joint is a joint which allows the movement in one plane. But if you talk about pivot joint is the one which can allow movement in a rotational manner. So here elbow joint allows the movement in one plane. It is a hinge joint. Shoulder is also a hinge joint. Ankle is also shoulder is a ball and socket joint. Ankle is again one plane movement is allowed, so it is also a hinge joint. But neck joint is a pivot joint because it allows rotational movement. So here which option is correct, students? Option C is correct. Next question. Which of the following statements is or are correct regarding the root system shown in the given figure? So you have a figure shown here. You need to identify this root system. We know that if you talk about plant has got different parts. It has got root, it has got stem, it has got leaves, it has got buds, or it has got flower, fruits. These all are the parts of the plant. Now particularly if we talk about roots always grow down towards the gravity. So here the root which you can see here, the root system, is a fibrous root, because fibrous root is a root where there is no main root. But if you have some one main root and another root arises from it, that is a tap root. But here you see that there is no main root, so this is a fibrous root system. So one statement is correct, that it is a fibrous root system. That is totally fine. Second says that plant possess given root system usually have reticulate venations in leaves. So we have got two kind of venations. Then there may be a parallel venation or there may be a web-like venation. So if we talk about fibrous root, so we see that here in this case it has got parallel venation. Fibrous root system has got parallel venation. That is the network of veins arranged in the leaves. It is not reticulate. Reticulate is present in taproot, where there is a one main root and small roots arise from it. It is a taproot system, no. Example of it is wheat and banana. Yes, it is found in wheat and banana. So option which states 1 and 4 would be correct in response to this figure. That is option D, and B, A and C are incorrect. So which option is correct? Option D is correct. Next question. Which of these diseases are more likely to suffer from if his diet doesn't include citrus fruits? So option A says night blindness, pellagra, scurvy or dermatitis. Now let me tell you, if citrus fruits are the source of vitamin C. Vitamin C. And we have already discussed that we all need food because food contains nutrients, and nutrients are energy giving substances. They give you energy, and we all need energy to carry out all those activities, including the metabolic activities of the body, or whatever you're doing, studying, moving, hopping, you are doing just because of the energy. So nutrients are basically carbohydrates, we have fats, we have proteins, we have vitamins, we have minerals also, and apart from this, to keep our digestive tract clean, we need roughage and water also. Though they are not source of energy, but still we need it. So vitamin C. So vitamins are of different types. You have A, B vitamin, you have C vitamin, you have D vitamin, you have E vitamin, you have K vitamins. So vitamin C, basically citrus fruits, sour fruits, they are the source of vitamin C. So if your diet lacks this vitamin C, then a person can suffer from scurvy. That is bleeding the gums, loose teeth. These are the symptoms basically. So which option is correct? Option C is correct. Whereas night blindness is the one where the person cannot see, in the dim light. Dermatitis, that is the skin disorder. Pellagra, rashes sort of thing. So vitamin C is caused, like vitamin C deficiency can cause scurvy. So option C is correct. Next question. Study the given list of adaptation in plants. Leaves reduced to spines, drip tips, sloping branch, fleshy stem, thick waxy layer on stem, cone-shaped trees, photosynthetic stem. So we need to pick that which out of them is correct in response to the desert plants. Now we know, like if we talk about adaptations, so what do we mean by adaptation? They are the specific features which develop in organisms also or in plants also, so that they can survive well with the changing climatic conditions, or they can survive well in their habitat. Now talking about desert plants, basically desert plants are those which live in desert areas, and we call them as xerophytic plants also. So these plants, we know that in desert area there is lot of sand all around. There is very less rainfall, almost no rainfall, and there is scarcity of water as well as food. So basically, we need plants, which can overcome these drastic conditions and survive well in desert plants. So in the desert plants, like what do they have? Yes, they have leaves reduced to spines, so that the rate of transpiration falls. Rate of transpiration means lots of water vapor through aerial parts. So to conserve water, their leaf surface is reduced to spines. Okay. Drip tips is no. Sloping branch, no. Fleshy stem, yes, they do have, because fleshy stem help them to store food and water in them. Thick waxy layer on the stem, basically here is again correct. Is again correct basically, because yes, the thick waxy layer on the stem will prevent loss of water. Cone shaped trees, no. Photosynthetic, yes, so that they can make their food. So option which has A, D, E and G would be correct. That is undoubtedly option B. So you need to learn about the adaptations of the plants and the organisms living in drastic conditions to cope up with those environmental conditions. Next, Rohan prepared a list of cellulosic fibers obtained on the stem of a plant. By mistake, he put some wrong fibers in the list. Select the option that groups only the stem of the plant fibers. So here, students, we know that fibers are basically thin threads, and they are yarn together to form. They are spin together basically to form fabric. So fibers, there are some natural fibers also, like you have linen, you have hemp, and there are few synthetic fibers also, like you have rayon, you have acrylic. These are these man-made fibers. So fibers which occur naturally, you may get from flower of the plant, like you have cotton, you may get it from stem. So there are different sources from which you are obtaining the fibers. So here he has put some wrong fibers in the list. Select the option that groups only the stem of the plant fibers. Now let me tell you, linen is not obtained from the stem, okay, and hemp Okay, and then you have satosh, mink, kapok, jute, tussar, moga, rayon, and acrylic. So let me tell you out of this, which are obtained from the, which are obtained basically. Option B would be right because they are wrongly placed, because in this only linen, hemp, and jute, they are obtained from the stem of the plant. So these rest of the options they are wrongly placed. Okay, so you need to remember this. So which option is correct here? Option B is correct. Next question. Priya took a food item X and put it onto a piece of paper. She observed that X left a stain on the paper. Identify X and select the incorrect statement. So a food item, when touched with or put in onto a piece of paper, leaving a stain, is undoubtedly containing fat, because fat only leaves a oily droplet on the paper, or you can say leave a stain on the paper. So we need to identify X and select the incorrect statement about X. So X could prevent the loss of heat from the body. Okay. X provides cushion to the internal organs. True. X help in repair of worn out cells. No, fat doesn't help that. Okay. None of these. So let me tell you, yes, X could prevent the loss of heat from the body. It is true. It is not incorrect. Rather, it is correct. It acts as a cushion to internal organ is again correct. So incorrect about it is only option C. So option C is the incorrect statement in response to fats. Next, a manufacturing unit is preparing ghee. The main products obtained during the process are mentioned in the flow chart below. Identify the missing parts P, Q, R. So here it is said that you have a cow. From cow you are getting something P, then you are processing P to Q, and you can obtain R from Q, and finally you get ghee. We know that cow is a milch animal. Milch animals are those which give you milk. So obviously P would be undoubtedly milk. So that means it cannot be A, it cannot be C, it can be out of B and D. Okay. Then you get milk. From milk, what can you make? Obviously from milk you get cream. From cream you make butter, and then from butter you can make ghee. So sequence would be milk, cream, and butter. So that means which option is correct? Option D is the correct option, and PQR are identified as milk, cream, and butter, and from butter only you get ghee. So with this we have come to an end. I hope my students have understood what to do, what not to do, how to get your answers correct, and which tips and tricks you must use, and how can you save time, how can you manage your time and number of questions in a given time frame. So all the best for the next time. I'm expecting good marks, and I'm expecting that you will be able to solve all the questions. So thank you, good luck, bye bye, take care.